begin in 3, 2, 1. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. As many of you continue filtering in, we're gonna do it short and sweet today. It is indeed coming up on Trump's first 100 days. Is generally how they hold these conversations, but I don't believe he's quite at 100 days just yet. I believe Wednesday. He's going to be on News Nation next Wednesday live. He's going to be on News Nation. I'm a huge News Nation fan. For you folks that may watch Fox or Newsmax or CNN or MSNBC, I don't know if your cable outlet has it or your streaming service have it, but I'd highly recommend News Nation because they get folks from both sides of the aisle. Nevertheless, Trump is going to be on News Nation next week, and he's going to be interviewed by Bill O'Reilly, formerly of Fox, Chris Cuomo, formerly of CNN, and Stephen A. Smith. Those three have been hanging around each other, and they've become really good media. So Trump will be on News Nation next Wednesday. So I'd highly invite you, highly suggest you watch that. I certainly will be, and we'll be talking about it. Nevertheless, we're talking about Trump's first 3 months because he's not quite at the first 100 days. We're talking about Trump's first 3 months. Let's see if we can judge him fairly. I understand a hell of a lot of folks may have criticisms of the president, but also there are going to be people who believe that he's done a hell of a lot of good things for this country. So we're going to talk about it from both sides. Now, when we have the callers come up, I'm going to be taking in callers as we normally do. When we're taking in callers, we're going to be talking about, I got 4 things we want to judge Trump on 4 different aspects of his presidency. And if you want to bring Biden in on this week, because, listen, this is any president should be judged on these 4 aspects. Number 1, the economy. You've heard the phrase many times. Is the economy stupid? I believe it was a quote from George Carville back in the Bill Clinton days. But the economy is probably one of the biggest reasons we choose a politician. At the end of the day, can I feed my family? Can I pay my bills? Can I live comfortably? Is probably the biggest concern from any voter. So number 1 being the economy. Number 2, the border. This was a huge issue going into the presidential campaign, suggesting that Biden really did a piss poor job at securing our border. And by way of being linked to Biden, Kamala Harris as well did a piss poor job securing the border. So Trump really got a hell of a lot of folks that supported him based on the perception that he was going to be a lot better at handling the border. A lot of folks believe that is exactly what happened. They got rid of Biden, got Trump in there, and we got, boom, a hell of a lot better border security. So number 2 being the border. Number 3, war. Just international incidents in general. But I'm going to throw the term war out there because there are currently 2 wars actively taking place that have America written all over them, being the Ukraine versus Russia and the Israelis versus the Palestinians. That was a major issue going into the election. Obviously, when it came to Joe Biden, they were saying that Genocide Joe had to go, and then they started kind of interrupting the rallies of Kamala Harris doing the same thing. So those 2 are gone now. We have Trump in their place. So we're going to judge Trump on war as well. Last but not least, depends on how you view this one, whether it's important to you or not. This one may or may not be important, but it is something that Trump ran on, and a hell of a lot of his supporters are quite pleased with his performance in this category. But I want to hear from all of you folks, not just folks who may or may not support Trump. Social issues. We're talking about everything from pro-choice, pro-life. We're talking about issues with the LGBTQ community, DEI and affirmative action. You're hearing about that all over the damn place. Everything from communism to socialism. Social issues. Whereas maybe you think Trump has finally been the right choice to correct some of the backtracking you may have seen the American society do in terms of becoming too progressive, or maybe you want America to become more progressive and you think Trump is setting us back 50 to 100 years. So it could be on either side there. So those are our four issues. Of course, we're going to be taking callers shortly. You know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body here, so you're going to hear opinions all over the place. You can be critical of anyone on this program, including yours truly. We go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. You've heard me say that on many shows. The four issues, once again: border, economy, war or international issues, and then, of course, social issues right here at home. Now, in addition to that big topic, we're going to be really getting into that. I also want to ask you guys on the side, because I had somebody run this one by me. The notion that with the tariffs and all of this other stuff going on, and by the way, tariffs will fit under the economy in regards to those four issues, but the U.S. dollar, there are some folks, due to what's happening with the stock market and the Dow allegedly performed worse this month than at any period since the Great Depression. So some folks feel the U.S. dollar is in significant trouble under President Trump. So just as a side topic to toss around, maybe educate some of us, maybe some of us can educate each other. Have you considered an alternative to the U.S. dollar? Alternative investments, buying gold, maybe purchasing crypto coin or something like that. We're going to hash that around as well. And I want to hear from some of you folks, because it is something that's being talked about in both liberal and conservative circles, that perhaps the U.S. dollar may not be the standard soon. Certainly with us having a trade war with China and things like that, that it might be time to consider something else in terms of your investment. Keep in mind, hell of a lot of Americans are losing their retirement funds because of what's going on. So some folks are suggesting maybe I should invest in something else than what I'm currently getting involved in. So we'll talk about that last but not least. So getting into the actual show, going straight to the comments. Remember, according to Democrats, we're still under Biden's economy. I don't think that's true, Cedric. I don't think any Democrat is going to look at the current economy with all of the tariffs and suggest it's still under Biden. Now, just to go a little bit more in depth in your comment there, generally that's the way it is. Trump has only been in office a little bit less than 100 days. Generally, the current president is still living in the economy of the former president. But the moment Trump decided to impose all these tariffs and send the whole trading world into a tailspin, it became his economy. Because none of that has any relation to do with Biden, and it has a lot to do with where the economy is right now. A lot of numbers change based on those tariffs, and that's all 100% Trump. So it's no longer Biden's economy once he did that. But I appreciate the input. So looking in the comments, though, ask Americans what they're making and what they are paying in America. Well, it depends on what American you ask. Some Americans claim they're doing pretty damn good. Others, not so much. No, because he shouldn't have to. I don't get what you're saying there, Nas. I'll go to the box shortly. We're still under Trump's tax codes from his last term, says Big Rex. Yeah? But, I mean, Biden did have an effect on the economy. But I'm beyond believing at this point that it's Biden's economy, considering that Trump came in via executive order and essentially erased Biden's existence and then started doing all kinds of stuff on his own. This is Trump's economy, good or bad. Good or bad, it's Trump's economy. How much has Elon got in federal subsidies and loans? If Elon Musk is getting loans, that is horrible. If the richest man on the planet is getting loans, that's awful. That is awful. I'll go to the box. CG says Trump's letting us all see his racism and stupidity, thinking he can bully the world with tariffs. That'll come up. We'll talk about it. All right, let me go to the box. We'll start the program right off with Stick Darula. Good evening, Stick. Judging Trump so far. Are you there, Stick?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear. So,
Okay.
are you kind of happy?
Man, I'm not happy at all, man. That guy, man, he's came in, and whoever that caller was or made that comment about we're under Biden's economy, you gotta be kidding. You gotta be
Wait a
kidding,
minute
man.
though. But normally he would be right if it wasn't for some of the more unconventional moves of Trump. Normally he would be right.
Yeah, I mean, normally, yes, he would be right, but in this case, we all seen it. See, this is the shit that I'm tired of, Tim. This is the shit I'm tired of, man. It makes me short breath because I'm looking at the same thing he's looking at. I seen the guy lose 80 grand in his 401k. He's seen the guy lose 80 grand in the 401k. We're all seeing the same thing. We're hearing China tell us that Trump's lying. He doesn't have a deal. He's not talking to him. You know, we're seeing the same shit, my man.
Well,
We come out of this fairy tale world.
Trump claims that he's made deals with dozens of countries already.
And that's what he claims. Where's the proof? Show me proof.
Man,
If you can't show me proof in the sense of you don't want to tell me, because that's all the time what he does. He don't want to tell what he has going on, but he wants to tell you, right? He wants to say, I'm having a deal going on. Well, just whatever country, Trump, pick one, and whatever it is, instead of you telling us, since you're such a big man, tell them to tell us.
well,
Tell them to tell us.
if he does come forward and show that he's made a deal with any country out there to get us a little bit more in tariff revenue, would you give him credit?
No, because a tariff is nothing but a tax on the consumer that's passed down. Yes, initially they'll put it on the importer and or the exporter, whichever way it goes.
But I got it, and thank you, Real Talk. Appreciate that. Wow, starting it out right. G's Bull or GS Bull says, just shut up and trust Trump, baby. What about the notion of just simply having faith in your commander in chief?
Well, first of all, Tim, I have no faith in our commander in chief. Why should I have faith in him? He's already showed you that he can crash the economy. He's already showed you that he don't care nothing about anybody but him and his crew. I mean, Pete Hegseth, all of these people that he picked, his cabinet is trash. Let's call it what it is. We got leaks everywhere. I mean, if we was a ship, we would be sinking.
But did you not at least give him credit for the fact that he showed us during his first term that he can manage a good economy? Many folks believe that under his first term, we had one of the best economies in recent times.
Okay, so remember when I came on, I told the guy that this was Trump's economy?
Yes.
Because of all of the things that he did, and we weren't stupid. We weren't stupid then either. We know that was Obama's economy. Only thing, remember, he did a couple of tariffs. I will give him that. That may have made us some money, right? But they were so minute, we didn't hear anything about it. There was no complaints. There was no griping. There was no people losing their 401k, right? And give him credit. I will give him credit for that. But this right here, my man, and, back in the day when he was the president the first term, he rode on Obama's economy. Economists have told you, and anybody else with a conscious brain has told you that was Obama's economy, just like you said.
Yeah, but you know how I often say, listen, when you're the coach of the team, you get credit for the wins and losses. I don't care if you just simply got lucky by drafting a good player or whatever the case may be, or you're a really good coach and you happen to put a player on your team that sucks. You get credit no matter what the team does. If Trump is in the White House and the economy is doing good, he gets credit even if it is Obama's economy, because keep in mind.
And I don't disagree.
Okay.
I don't disagree. Right? I don't. So we're not going to disagree again.
So his first term, then you're admitting his first term he had a good economy.
He had a good economy because of Obama.
You're not getting. No, does he get credit for the economy he gave us during his first term?
The economy he gave us?
The economy, the economy that America enjoyed during Trump's first term. Does Trump get credit for that?
Okay, so let's take this back. First of all, again, for the time that it was all right and he wasn't fucking up, yes. But remember, he fucked up at the end. And Biden inherited a Trump economy, which was fucked up.
Okay, let me explain this a little bit more with a little bit more clarity.
No, I'm saying it the way
I get what you're saying. I'm disagreeing somewhat. If Trump comes in and the economy is strong under Obama, and Trump does something to screw the economy up, we're going to blame Trump for the screw up. But if he doesn't do anything to screw the economy up and it continues to blossom, he gets no credit. It goes to Obama. That's a bit unfair. It makes it sound it makes it sound like the only grade you're going to give Trump on the economy is either a bad one or none at all.
No, how about this? I'm going to give him the grade that the country is giving him, a 33% approval rating.
If he,
why is 33%?
But that's not. That is now. I'm saying during his first term on the economy, what grade would you have given him then?
The grade that I would have given him for the first 2 years, I would have gave him at least a B. I would have gave him a B.
All right. Okay. We're getting
and you know
somewhere.
why? And you know why? He took the cheat codes and kept the cheat codes for as long as he could. But then when he wanted to do his own thing, which was mess up the plan just in case something happened, he tore that all up. Then something happened and he had no plan. And the economy went to shit. And then Joe inherited a bad economy and made it great. When he took over the economy.
You think Joe Biden made the economy great? Say what?
Yeah, I'm taking MAGA's word. Made it great again. He made it great again. He made it to where shit was at least the pay grades and everything else were starting to get right.
So
he made it to where things started flowing around again. People could move again. People was encouraged versus discouraged by taking the vax.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, Joe did his thing. He might have been sleepy all the time. He might have not played golf.
Wait a minute.
He might have went to UFC.
Joe,
guess what he did? He gave him a good economy. When he left, he gave him. Can we stop the chickens from? Can Joe vaccinate all the chickens?
No, but I'm taking your word. Trump became president on January 20th. So you're telling me on January 19th we had a quote unquote great economy?
I would say that we had a better economy than we do now.
That's a big difference between that and great. You said great.
It's great compared to what we have now. Think about it, Tim. Every day the stock market losing 700, 400, 500.
Better, but now you're making the argument of better than now. You said great. You said that Biden took the economy from Trump in 2020 and made it great. I don't see that. No, I don't think America sees that.
No. What the reason why you don't see it is because you watch Fox News all the time. And then I'm gonna have to side with Gangster Grandma. You be fluffing. You be fluffing back up. And I get it. That's your main audience. That's your main audience.
Listen, do you not agree that the economy is like one of the number one reasons people vote?
Yeah, at this point, they definitely the main reason. That's why he's at 33%.
No. I mean, period. Not at this point. I mean, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Do you not agree that the economy is generally one of the top reasons why people vote?
Well, yes and no. It just depends on who the people are. Because again,
the American people.
Listen, no. We ain't gonna do it like that. We're not just gonna combine everybody because everybody votes for different reasons. Correct?
I'm asking you on average. Yeah, everybody votes for something different, but in general, if you took a poll of the American people, do you not agree that the economy is one of the main reasons why most people vote?
I would say the people that voted for Trump, they voted for the economy.
So what the hell was the liberals voting for?
The liberals were voting for everything and the economy. Everything else, and
What's the number one issue for the liberals?
Which for the liberals, I would say back when let me see, Kamala number one issue, I would say it number one, because there's a lot of
your hesitation is showing why the liberals got their ass kicked. I think your hesitation is showing why the liberals got. Why did the liberals vote?
Listen, the liberals voted for everything. The liberals
that is not. What is the number one issue? You can't vote for everything.
Okay. Number one issue is people's rights. So whether you want to say the First Amendment, Second Amendment, the whole Constitution, they was voting for that, because you got a person right now that want to take us back to 17 whatever, to deport people and all sorts of stuff. So at the end of the day, the main issue with liberals were people's rights. The right to have a job without saying, oh, the only reason you got this job was because of DEI. The only reason you got this job was because of affirmative action.
Okay.
So people's rights, women's rights. It was more about rights, your right to be able to do the things that were already in the Constitution, versus I just want a good economy and a good border. But now we're talking about sending citizens to El Salvador.
Yeah, I think you're kind of explaining why the liberals lost. You're pretty much admitting that they didn't put the economy first, and that's generally what most voters do, is they put the economy first.
But guess what? If you got somebody in office named Joe Biden and the economy is cruising along and hitting all-time highs, what are we talking about? The whole thing of it is, even with MAGA, they was fluffing towards Donald Trump. Anything that he said, they had a Fox News conference with Donald Trump when he was running, and at the bottom it had the ticker of the economy. He was talking about he wanted the economy to crash. So if you want the economy to crash, that means it's doing good, and that would make you look good if it crashed.
Well, the right had a unique way of picking and choosing what they cared about when Trump said it. But it's amazing that you would come out and admit the Democrats did not put the economy first. That's, like I said, when George Carville said it's the economy stupid, and to have a Democrat come on here and admit we didn't put the economy first, that I think you're kind of explaining why the liberals lost.
How about this? We putting the economy first, and how does the economy look right now? The person who said he wants the economy to look good, how does it look right now, Tim?
Right now, it don't look good. You should have put it first. You would be in control of making it look better.
So again, those idiots that voted on the economy voted this man in, and guess what he did? He voted on the stuff that we were talking about, the rights. He wants to take rights from people. This is
someone in the comments. I do got to move it on, but somebody did push an interesting point. They said ain't nobody lost any rights under Trump. How do you respond to that?
I would tell them open their eyes. I would tell them look at all of his DEI and firings and hirings and see who's actually DEI. I would. Is he getting rid of the Harriet Tubman thing?
That's not right. Stick ain't none of that are right. Anybody lost any rights? You said people are losing rights. I'm not hearing any rights they lost.
In America versus El Salvador.
But that ain't officially
in there. They just ain't found him yet because he's in El Salvador.
I can't argue with that. All right, I gotta move. I gotta move. Yeah, go ahead.
Again, I'm gonna just end it with this. He's pushing the envelope to see how much he can get away with. And if MAGA, if y'all keep letting them get away with it, pretty soon y'all gonna get touched too. No Diddy.
All right, Stick. Appreciate you coming through. Thank you. Drive a hard bargain. You know how the program works. We don't block, ban, or censor. I always like to hear an opposing caller with an opposing opinion. Now, me and Stick probably agree on far more than we disagree on, but I got to challenge the folks. This is how the program works. Nevertheless, I'm going to ask that you tap the screen. Get the likes on up to about 20,000. We can make that happen. Certainly, it helps out the algorithm, brings in more MAGA. You know how I ask that you folks do that. Show the program some love. Give it about a good minute of tapping. You know how we make that happen. Get us up to 20,000. Due process is woke, my lord. You're absolutely right. Due process is, when we're talking about getting rid of the liberals and their woke agenda, Alice, and you're a female, Alice Bunny, A woman is referring to due process is woke? Wow. Okay, that's different. That's different. DJ Cool Kirk, and what is that? The Bugman, DJ Cool Kirk, the Bugman says, "Sir, you're the last one. The rest of them are waking up." All right, fair enough. I don't know what that means, but okay. I thought I told you within my head without your approval. I thought I told you no thought within my head without your approval. I don't know what that means. Looking at the comments, it does not take overnight to fix the economy. It doesn't work like that, even in life. But your Democrats, only thing you do is talk about it, never do it. Moonlight Ace, and I'm gonna wait till give me up to 20,000 so I can take the next caller. Big Dog, yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. In regards to the statement, it doesn't take overnight to fix the economy. It doesn't work like that. You're suggesting that the Democrats are expecting too much from Trump too quickly, and you can't fix the economy overnight. Now, on its face, that makes perfect sense. However, I'm going to suggest, or I'm going to state, whoa, Big Dog, appreciate that. Galaxy, thank you. Showing the program some love, thank you. I'm going to say right off the bat that I find it biased, if not flat out wrong, to blame voters for holding a politician accountable for what he said, as opposed to holding the politician accountable himself. If you promise to do some shit on day one or within 24 hours, the response should not be that the voter is an idiot for not realizing you were lying to their face. The response should be that you as a politician are wrong for lying to the face of voters. You got a lot of folks on the right that are saying the liberals are stupid or they're idiots or they lack intelligence for not realizing that he can't do this stuff in 24 hours, he can't do it on day one, but they're not actually holding the guy accountable for saying it. Is it not wrong to hold a politician accountable for the words that are coming out of his mouth? You as a voter is responsible for interpreting what a politician is saying and you can't take them literal. When did that start happening? What part of the game is that? If I tell you I'm going to repay you that loan next Saturday, you're expecting me to repay the money. You don't expect me to show up and, well, did you think I could really give you $100 back that quick? You don't only make minimum wage. Did you really think that was going to, what kind of shit is that? What happened to say what you mean? Shoot straight from the hip. Talks like a typical New York. What happened to any of that? Now all of a sudden he's saying wild shit and you got to be able to interpret it. Tap the screen, get us on up to 20,000 so we can go to the next. A lot of people acting straightforward on emotion rather than taking time to do research. I've sat down with advisors going through my investments and I'm going to be looking good. Well, it depends on the advisor, TP. Depends on the advisor because a lot of folks are not favorable of what Trump's tariffs are doing. But there's a few folks, you watch Fox News, for instance, Fox Business, and they're like, just ride it out. You know, everybody from Kevin O'Leary to Stuart Varney would tell you, just ride it out, it's going to be better. But you watch all the other networks and they're like, essentially, we're fogged. We're not going to beat China. So it depends on what your investor, the mindset of your investor. We got over 20. Now we'll go back to the box, take on the next caller, and that will be, I don't know what I hit, but Gangsta Grandma, I haven't done anything wrong yet. So let me take you early.
Yes, you did.
What did I do wrong?
Fucking bipolar ass, coon ass. You sucking on that, yeah. You fucking trifling ass.
What did I do?
You be fluffing. You be fluffing so hard. How does it taste? God damn, you're supposed to be a liberal. What the fuck?
Wait, being a liberal means you can't point out if Trump is doing things right?
What the fuck? Oh, are you? I know your black ass is lying. What you smoking on? Cause I want some.
Wait.
With your bipolar ass.
You make it sound like being a liberal means you should have blind hatred for Trump. That's Trump derangement
I don't
syndrome.
have blind hatred. I have hatred. The motherfucker's a rapist. He's fucking trifling. He don't like our black asses. He wants to send us to buttfuck too. And you're over here saying, his economy and first rate was so good. Fuck it wasn't. Fuck it wasn't.
Wait, what was wrong with Trump's first term in terms of the economy?
Fucking serious. For one, he was bootstraps of a black man, a beautiful fucking black man. You feel what I'm saying? Obama. Then he fucked it all up when he started doing the tariffs. Understand, Pookie? Then he bankrupted the damn farmers. Then he did the oil.
Under
And wood.
under Trump's first term, we had a good economy, Gangsta Grandma. We had
We
a
had it because of a black man, Pookie. Not because of the white man, the black man. Then he fucked it all the way up. Because what did he say? Oh, the virus is going to go away by April.
I don't think
The fuck?
I don't think you're judging him fairly. So you're making it sound like
Are you fucking serious? I'm not judging him fairly. Are you you just bent over today, aren't you? You're not even fluffy. You just bent all the way the fuck over for that man.
is it okay? Once you inherit a good economy from Obama, according to you, that means he cannot get any credit for a good economy at all?
What did he do that was so goddamn good? Oh, please. The only thing that motherfucker did was got the damn abuse for animals. That's all that motherfucker did.
How about
Made
the
a felony.
How about the fact that under Trump's term we had 3.5% jobs numbers, which are some of the lowest?
Oh, hell no, we don't go there. Half the shit was not, he lost it. Let's get technical.